A dream Saturday. Indeed, a dream Saturday for all the Indian fans who are out there, because you wanted a Jaiswal century? Check. You wanted Virat and Rohit to score? Double check. India winning the series? Quadruple check. Doubts over Virat and Kohli, over Rohit and Virat existing? No way, Jose. If you wanted answers, you wanted all your wishes to be fulfilled like Aladdin ka genie, it's happened in Vizag today. A clinical 9-wicket victory and a comprehensive 2-1 series win. And what doubts? What are the doubts that we had in Rohit and Virat's mind? And today it's a celebration. Jaiswal, 100, you know the celebration, how he did, what it meant to him. All the doom and gloom forgotten. What happened about a week ago?
I don't think it's forgotten, but I think, people will focus on the fact that you at least won the ODI series because you were looking at the realistic prospect of potentially losing 2 back-to-back series for the first time in 30 odd years?
38 years. 1987. You would have lost a test and a bilateral ODI series for the first time in 38 years. That was Pakistan when you lost in 1987. But now that thought is gone. You won this match, as we said at the very beginning. South Africa are 70-80 runs short. And India have wrapped it up clinically. What more can I say? 9 wickets with more than a fair amount of overs to go. It's the ideal Saturday that every Indian fan wanted. Rohit Kohli scoring runs, Jaiswal getting a century, India winning the series. No more doubts.
Is there something with the two of them coming good in the last match of the series?
Disagree. Totally.
They've been coming good throughout the series.
4 out of 5.
On the same day. On the same day. It was the series. It wasn't the series decider back then. It was the last match of the Australia series when both on the same day came good.
They came good even in the first match.
But not perhaps as good as today. Rohit was closer today to a century.
But Virat was Virat with the amount of runs that he had to get.
Yeah.
I mean, pardon me, I have never seen Virat hit this many sixes in a series. I've never seen him bat this effortlessly. It was eminent. It was quite, he's going to get a 50.
Yeah,
it was that certain.
The one thing we'll always remember, we've seen Virat, through the years. You don't remember him taking the aerial route just as much as he has. We know he likes taking his flights to London, that's fine. But the ball also being sent to London and to other parts of the world in the same series so often, I don't remember Virat being so aerial, and there's definite purpose in every smack that we see from him every time. That pickup shot that you saw, almost like a no-look shot that it was.
When was the last time he played that?
Yeah. And this is like peak Virat, what we're seeing right now. So much in control, so much precision, so much power. Definitely a new gear to his game where he's willing to take the aerial route very, very confidently. With Virat Kohli, you knew that there'd be stability, which you're getting right now as well. But you would also see the ball being played along the ground far more. I'm sure the statisticians are at it already, because there has to be a number or some percentage to how many runs came off boundaries in this particular series for Virat, and how often did he play the ball above the ground. Because what we've seen today definitely is something worth remembering going forward.
I mean, this series has seen Virat go up another gear. It's not Virat 2.0 or Virat 3.0. It's Virat another gear. Another level when you look at it. Sydney was the time when, they came back into the groove. Rohit came back a match earlier. But since then, 4 matches you look at it, they have not looked back. Rohit again, same, bowl him short, he'll murder you. Bowl him full on the pads, he'll murder you. Virat, that no-look 6 showed that he was in the zenith at that time of his zone, that yes, it's a chase. It's right in his territory. It's right in his area. What more do you want? So, firstly, let us just address this situation, okay? I'm straight out saying, and we can get all the others in it. If Rohit and Virat are left out of 2027 World Cup plans, it can't be on cricket anymore. It has to be either something else
No, what can that something else be?
Are they creating a toxic team environment? Number one. Second, are they politicking behind the scenes? Number three, are they not allowing the younger players to have that area where they can develop? Okay. These are the only three factors which can see them exit. Otherwise, on pure cricketing reason, on pure cricketing merit, it is harakiri. It is foolhardiness, it is foolish, it is suicidal to not keep them in the plans for 2027 right as of now, as we speak on December 6th, 2025. A good, you may say, 20 months away. I've said it. If the BCCI decides to keep Rohit and Virat out of the scheme of 2027, it has to be political. It has to be the toxicity that is there in the environment, in the dressing room. On pure cricketing merit and logic, they don't even deserve to have any doubts. That's the way. Come anybody, whoever comes. There are no more doubts. There shouldn't be any further doubts.
I don't think there were, in my head at least, I can say there weren't any doubts even at the start of the Australia series. Yes, there may have been an ODI gap per se, but for the kind of form that they'd shown right through the World Cup of 23 and even after that, was there enough reason for me to doubt the two of them? Absolutely not. I never had those questions in mind. And you think about phasing out non-performing assets from a team or a company, right? You don't look at phasing out performing assets. These are highly performing assets. These are the ones giving you the highest yield at the moment. How do you even think of getting in those questions or casting those aspersions over their future when they're not showing any signs of slowing down? Absolutely not. If you had some questions over Virat because he notched up to those two ducks in Australia, but he looked good in the third. And you're allowed a couple of failures, aren't you?
It was premature, whatever it is.
Look at this, 2 centuries followed by a 50, all 3 of the highest class, chanceless, if I may add, all 3 innings of Virat Kohli. And what we've seen in the process is him add another gear to his game. So, how do you raise questions against people who've been performing for you, who've shown no signs of slowing down? And it's not like you've got some player out there who's pushing them out of the team. Do you have people who are pushing them to the brink and who are challenging and or in a way knocking at your door? It's not the case at all.
Before Shane comes in, I just want to point out that all of us, if all the fans say, oh, hypocrisy, look how you're changing your tune. No. Even prior to Australia, I said you will put Rohit and Virat in 2027, even if they have 15-20 failures. You will still put them on the plane to South Africa. You're not phasing them out. You can't. Simple. You need an experience to win a World Cup. They want to complete their story, and Rohit and Virat will do their best to finish the story.
I mean, look, I had one small doubt, and the doubt doesn't come from any of their abilities. It was just, I wasn't sure if they could be able to cope up with being one format players. That was my only small worry, which is why I was very keen to watch how it is that they did in the 2 series. And well, there's a third also. Remember, they will be playing against New Zealand too. So then that's also a home series. So I wanted to see how it is that they'd fare. Because my thought process was entirely, look, can they be one format players and still sustain those level of performances? That was one small doubt I had, which I think at this point has been put to bed. So now there are absolutely zero doubts from a sporting perspective in my mind whatsoever. None.
The one question though, and I do want to go back to something we've been talking about for a while now, and this was raised that whether these guys after the kind of tour that they had in Australia, or even while the series was in its initial stages, the need to play domestic cricket, that also became a subject. I stand firm on that though. Notwithstanding what the results for the two of them in personal capacities have been in these 2 series, I still feel and I maintain that they must play domestic, because I am worried on one front, because you may have form right now, it doesn't take too long for the form to fade, and what is good is playing cricket, just being in the scheme of things is not going to take that form. It only makes things more airtight, I'd like to believe, and it's not like you're playing all round the year. What it does is, it keeps you in your rhythm, and it does whatever little that you can do, being away from the international setup, in case of the other 2 formats, it just keeps you it just keeps you in shape. It keeps you, mentally ready. It keeps you switched on. It doesn't let you switch off. I think any amount of game time is good game time. So why not take that game time when it can be taken? So I maintain and I won't change my opinion on that they do not need to prove. I don't think the Vijay Hazare or any domestic competition is the ground for them to be making a point or them to be proving anything. This is just about ensuring how is it that I can maintain that rhythm, how is it that I can keep myself match fit, how is it I can keep myself ready to play for India whenever I'm asked to.
Yeah, so we have Nikhil at the other end.
I think he's left the call, no? Pavan, is he there? Oh, he's left the call.
Oh, okay. So
We'll try and get Nikhil back online for you guys in a bit.
Yeah, we can get him back. But then see, as we know, this is a series which is, once again, see, 71st 50 plus score in ODI chases.
It's mad.
And very rarely when he scores 100 or a 50, you lose in a chase. It's happened, I think, only 3 or 4 times in his entire career where he's lost. So at this point in time, be it slow batting or be it any kind of batting, even for Rohit, people may ask, he's changed his template, why is he batting so slowly? But then, hasn't it been effective? I think on truer wickets, he will bat the way how he did in 2023. When it's tough, when it's kind of sticky, he will adapt and go for gung-ho. That's what I believe in Rohit in. So, basically, when you look at it, in 2 series that you have had, Rohit has ended up as your man of the series. And he was the player of the match in Sydney also.
Also worth noting that this was a game that didn't need him to go gung-ho. You're chasing 270 on a placid deck where you knew the dew was going to kick in. And the dew, by the way, kicked in with a vengeance.
Yeah.
We were talking about there being no early onset, but as early as in the first power play, they showed the wheels of the camera. My good God, it was wet. So, yeah, the dew did set in. And I think the South African bowlers for once ended up getting the worst end of the bowling conditions, having to bowl with a slippery bar of soap.
Yep, indeed. So, that's why in this series, you may see a Virat get a player of the series award.
Of course. Who else? Who else can you think of?
Maybe a Kuldeep.
Maybe, but I think 200s and a 50.
Can't.
No.
It has to be Virat as the player of the series. So, in that sense, Rohit and Virat in Australia and South Africa are potentially getting a player of the series award. Now, if you want to go ahead and peddle this thing that, oh, let's drop them and all those kind of things, as I said, it is beyond cricket then. And that goes into another realm wherein we will not get into conspiracies. I'm sorry about that. If that goes into it, then we will not discuss the politics, we will not discuss all the team environment, the toxicity of all of that, we won't discuss that. So, on pure cricketing merit, we have 2 legends becoming the player of the series in 2 successive series at this point in time. So,
And 2 legends with a bit of a point to prove, I may add, because
Yes.
again, there had been a lot of chatter. I remember reading rumors that Australia could be their last ever series in ODIs.
Oh, yeah.
And then thereafter, obviously, this chatter around their spots for 2027 hasn't really stopped. So, it's come at the most opportune of time, these performances. And again, it's doubly important for very simple reason. After this is only one more series, New Zealand. Then you're having an absolute break from ODI cricket for a while. Proper
5 months.
Sannyas.
5 months.
So I think July is when you're playing your
July.
next
Is
series.
there anything that the 2 have sort of left for us to see, or is there more that we wanted to see, or is there any box that's been left unticked by the 2 of them?
There's nothing.
Anything? I can't think of one. I really cannot think
There's
of one.
nothing.
Even if now,
In fact, I'll add, there was a box that I didn't have in mind which got ticked, which is Virat having the 6th run gear. This is not Virat Kohli template. Let's be very, very honest about that. This is
Yeah.
not Virat Kohli's ODI template. Yes, of course, once India got to the finishing line, we've seen that in the past as well, that Virat does like going to the cleaners.
I think he's hit about 14 sixes in this 3-match series, if I'm not mistaken.
there were 3 today.
7.
Seven in Ranchi.
7 in
Ranchi.
No, 7 was in Raipur. So 7 in Raipur.
And I think he hit 4 or 5 in
So 14, 15 sixes in 3 matches. That's averaging 5.
5 a game. And this is Virat we are talking about.
Exactly.
And Rohit Sharma also. I mean, he continues 3 sixes, 2 sixes, 3
Today
sixes.
as well, there were a couple of sixes.
Yeah, he hit.
There were 7 fours and 3 sixes, I think.
Yeah, same with Jaiswal. I mean, look, 65 or 45, 144 strike rate in an ODI. Better than his T20I.
Exactly. In an ODI, he's striking it at 144. That's very good. And also coming in his number 3 position, which by the way is not his T20 position. He was opening in T20.
I
Yes.
was also looking at some of Virat's numbers. It's also sort of incidental. I don't know that He follows and he believes a lot in Cristiano Ronaldo, and we've seen Ronaldo's curve sort of also go up the moment that he crossed the 35 mark, and we keep talking about how his numbers and goals really got better after a certain age. Virat's averaging nearly 70 since the time he's turned 35.
That is true. He's
70.
70 only.
The only thing you don't see Virat doing is put out weird Instagram videos dissing Steve Smith without naming him. In case you're wondering what it is I'm talking about, there is a video up on Sports Today. Please go ahead and check that out later on. It's quite the scene.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, at this point in time, 9 o'clock, I'll again say, even if Rohit and Virat have about 10-15 failures leading up to 2027 World Cup, they will still make it. This is the way that we are looking at it. So, in that sense, if you look at what is going on at this point in time, it's not worth the discussion. It really isn't worth the discussion about Rohit and Virat at this point in time. So, if you want to have the discussion going ahead in January, good luck. I think the debate's ended. As far as whether Virat should be there or whether Rohit should be there, they are there.
They should be there, Siddharth.
They will be there.
Absolutely should be there.
They will be there.
This is, again, the narrative around these two series should have been very different. I don't know where this started from, but the need for them to prove is something that didn't have the right grounds to begin with. And I'm glad there won't be many people to water that thought anymore. It was unneeded, it had to be weeded out, and I'm glad it got weeded out inside two series. That's it. I won't say more.
Yeah. Now, Rohit and Virat may have done us a lot of favors by ensuring that there's no further debate on their positions. But one man who's added to the problem of plenty and who's given us all a good headache. What is a good headache? I just don't understand. Yashasvi Jaiswal. For a long time, we felt that one format, why hasn't he gotten that many chances? Left armers trouble him, everything troubles him. But no, today he joined several others to have hit a century in all formats.
Now, I think, become the youngest to score a century across all formats.
Yeah, today Yashasvi Jaiswal batted with a purpose. Today he was determined, I am not going to fall for that trap. They tempted him with short and wide balls, but I think what happened this time was the bounce wasn't that true enough. So he missed a couple, but then he mistimed a few.
No, but I did like the fact that, I know he was beaten a couple of times. He played with soft hands the one time that he gets the ball as well. I don't know if it would have carried if had there been first slip, but he played with soft hands, and I doubt perhaps that it would have carried even if there was somebody over there. So I think there was definitely a sense of purpose about this particular innings of Yashasvi Jaiswal. He knows he's not in the reckoning right now, and why he is there. Perhaps he'll count himself lucky at the moment. But this is what all good batters do. This is what all people who want to play for India do. They make their chances count. And Yashasvi Jaiswal has done exactly that.
See, that's the thing. Sometimes if you're on the bench, there might not actually be any other reason aside from that they just don't happen to have a spot for you. It's not a slight on your talent. Let's not slide Jaiswal and say that this is down to him having deficiency. Sure, he's been troubled by left arm pacers, absolutely. But the fact of the matter is also it's worth noting that where would you fit him in if you really wanted to? You couldn't.
It's very interesting. I was seeing on Twitter yesterday that there's a clip of Ravichandran Ashwin doing the rounds in this talk that he usually has with the journalist. A clip from that particular engagement, and I saw he was going ahead, and I think he was naming the 11 for India in the ODI scheme of things. He, I think, had Yashasvi's name. He had Rohit's. In fact, he didn't have Yashasvi to begin with. He proposed the idea of perhaps a Virat, because he did that in T20s, and you want to see more and more of Virat. Perhaps have him open alongside Rohit. You have a KL Rahul in the middle order. You definitely have a Shreyas Iyer in the middle order. But he forgot to name Shubman Gill.
He didn't name the captain?
Yes.
Oh dear.
I don't know if this was purposeful or
I
not.
don't
If
think
this
it
was just a slip up.
It was a slip up?
Yeah, but he came up with this thought as well.
I mean, again, see, this will only pile up pressure.
Can you please tell us what did Ash Anna, was this deliberate?
I
Could
don't
this
know.
have been deliberate?
I honestly haven't seen that clip, so I cannot comment on whether he had any malice, whether he had anything about it. But then see, I can only say one thing, this knock will only build the pressure on your ODI captain. Remember, your ODI captain wasn't playing in the series. And India have done well. They have won the series 2-1. When Gill started his ODI tenure, you lost that series 2-1. So, you have to understand that captaincy and 100, when you look at contributions, Gill has not started on the right note.
Yeah.
He lost the series in Australia.
Yeah.
Now, without Gill, you managed to win against South Africa at home. Okay. The nature of the losses also, I mean, it was a clear win toss, bowl second, and then win the match. India managed to hold on to this by the barest of margins in the first ODI in Ranchi. Yeah. Second, you saw the dew was so much you just couldn't defend 358. Here, 270 was 70-80 runs under par.
Can we also say that this match and the fact that it's the first time India got to bat first and got the best conditions to bat actually was a truer reflection of the gap between the two sides? Because India were put through harder conditions in the first two and were made to work extra hard in the first match. South Africa didn't even come close in the third one, the time that they for once were put in tough conditions.
I agree to an extent that it does show that India are a very formidable ODI side, but I don't think man to man also there's not that much of a gap. They're a good side. I think today they just ended up going for the jugular, and I think why they also had that pressure on their head was because they were thinking like we were, what India would have been in the first two matches. That listen, if you're thinking 320, 330, you need to be thinking 350, 360. So in the pursuit of 350, 360,
they got derailed.
Exactly. Icarus was flying too close to the sun and his wings got burnt, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I mean,
that's why they were constantly going aggressive. They didn't recalibrate when they lost a few wickets and say, no, we need to maybe readjust and try and get 320. Maybe given conditions and everything, maybe that also wouldn't have been enough. But I still think it would have given them a fighting chance. 270, we were looking at it and going, there's no way. There is absolutely
I mean, look, see, the stage was set for Jaiswal to not have that pressure. Okay. Yashasvi Jaiswal ensured that, okay, I don't have scoreboard pressure. In the first two games, I was trying to set up my thing. How on earth would I set it up? That he has to learn. But chasing, okay, the template is there. I know what my seniors have told me. I know what is the situation. So, why not? I went by my thing and 12 fours, 2 sixes, when he got to his 100, he then opened up.
Yeah, I think the major issue with Yashasvi was, and see, this is where he's also, I think, learning as a player. We know he's got this ability to mix aggression and also defend well. We've seen him defend well in Test cricket. But I think he was getting too soaked up in the aggression side of things. He was always coming out and looking at, I'm going to hit. And early on, the ball was doing things. And then eventually he was getting caught up with it. Today he said, no, I'll be patient. See, helped by the fact that definitely they knew the run chase wasn't much. So he could afford to take his time, really get himself in there. And then once it reached, once he got past his half century, then he knew, okay, in this case, I can keep going for it. Now I'm well settled. That is the important part. So I think that was also what worked out to his advantage. Because he took his time. With ODI cricket, you have to sometimes take your time. Just because you're a explosive batter doesn't mean you have to try and hit every ball for 6. This isn't T20 cricket.
Yeah, so today he became the youngest to get to hundreds in all three formats. So that is why Jaiswal has only increased the pressure on Shubman Gill, because a string of low scores by Shubman Gill will ensure that bring Jaiswal, get him to open. For the first time, you may see your captain in the chopping block.
Under pressure.
Under pressure.
Performance.
And
I think he already is. He knows that, he's been catapulted into the T20 side at the expense of a player who was ahead of him only 12 months back.
And also catapulted into a leadership role after the last assignment that the ex-captain had was winning the Champions Trophy. Eesh.
what a time. You get sandwiched between two eras. One where Rohit has won you 2 ICC events and lost only 1 in 3. You then dump him in the middle of the cycle, get him in so that we need a 2-year thing to understand where do you stand as a captain. You miss the series at home. Jaiswal steps in, scores 100. And that is why when you look at it, it is going to be a big situation that is there. Sorry about that.
Beautiful music, Siddharth.
Yeah, forget it. We'll get a copyright strike. Give it to Yashin. We'll get a copyright strike if that happens. So.
Who's that? Please show me.
Oh, please, no.
Yeah,
It's-
best friends that knock on his door.
BFFs.
Quite
Oh,
often.
they are delayed. So let that be.
I thought it was already.
What's that?
I don't know what's happening. So,
You didn't tell us you're giving us a treat.
well, India won the series.
By the way, there's one food box of Siddharth's that got delivered a few minutes back.
Did he order from two places?
And,
No,
and now he's
no,
getting
no.
another call from the delivery agent.
Very
No. Nothing
Siddharth's
of
either
that
being
kind.
kind to us and just doesn't want to tell on camera. Two, he's just too hungry and he
See,
can't do much about it.
You won the series. He's the player of the series.
Oh yeah, see, no surprise there.
No surprises at all. So, in that sense,
First, please answer na Siddharth. Don't dodge.
Don't dodge.
well, I've gotten something to celebrate. So, why not? Let's celebrate.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, that is why you've gotten someone to celebrate, knowing, see, all your boxes were ticked. What more do you want?
Siddharth will tick some boxes afterwards.
Yeah. He'll empty boxes.
One will definitely be ticked for late coming. That is the one thing which, yeah,
That's angry.
I'm very angry.
I can wonder why. Anyhow.
Yeah, it's been a strange day in that sense, but no problem.
It's okay, Siddharth. Being patient, you're just giving all the gyan about Jaiswal being patient, getting to a century.
I was
Yes.
giving it and now he's not being patient looking at his football.
He's kept it right in front, which is why the patience is even more going away at this point.
I can get the smell to it.
Yeah. At times, you don't have to be tempted by the fuller delivery. It could just be moving away.
I'm like
Or don't
Virat.
get tempted by the one outside off.
I'm trying to, but I'm like Virat. Instinct, tuck, hedge. But see, now it'll be interesting what he says in the post-match presentation. What's going to happen? I think nothing will change
He's
from
speaking. Pawan, we must definitely keep a close eye. He had a few things to say the other day to Harsha.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
But I
so-
think it's today Murli Karthik who's.
No, whosoever it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what.
Okay,
what Virat
so-
has to say.
Is the most playing the way I have in this series is the most satisfying thing for me. I really feel free in my mind. I haven't played like this in 2-3 years. Agreed. Because how many sixes has Virat hit in a single series? 14, 15. And when you play for that long, you do doubt yourself. And
Those are big words, by the way.
yeah,
That's admission for the first time from Virat that when you don't play for that long a period, you do casting aspersions on yourself as well.
I'll tell you-
That's the confidence thing.
you had focused about Ash Anna, right?
Uh-huh.
There was one particular thing in which he's saying that why was he celebrating so aggressively? Yes, he used to celebrate milestones in the past, but this series you've seen ultra aggression. Two factors. The doubt factor, his test performances. See, when he announced his retirement in May 2025 from Test cricket, it hurt him. The hurt is visible. For how long, if you look at Virat Kohli's posts, it's either on an Indian win or an RCB win, that is a small minority, but majority of it are test wins. This is the format he cherishes. And for him to go out of that format hurt him in a big way. And which is why the celebrations, you do doubt yourself. It is an answer to himself and to the doubters. I am not going anywhere. This series was an epitome of that particular bit. So, especially as a batter, when one mistake can get you out, Where have we heard that in the BGT on 9 occasions, 9 out of 10 occasions.
Ask Scotty Boland.
Yep. It's a whole journey of getting better, and that's the thing. So, it does make you doubt yourself. You will Virat faced that from 2020 to 2022. He faced that period. In white ball, he didn't have a dip.
I think in all of this is again takes me back to domestic cricket, and why it will only be beneficial to both Rohit and Virat. This is what happens, as Virat says, that when you don't play the game for too long, you start having doubts. But when you are, and if I hope they do, now we know Virat's made himself available, I hope he'll have much brighter things to say, and it'll only be good for India if Virat doesn't find himself in this sort of a position again.
But it's a volte-face when you look at what he said in Raipur. I'll tell you why. I am not too much into preparation. That's what Virat had said.
Yeah.
Here, when you play for that long, 15, you do doubt yourself. Incidentally, that 180-degree volt-fast has come when prior to that, 1-2 days, initially the report said he's not playing VHT. But now he's committed to playing the VHT.
Yeah.
Is it a realization at this point in time that maybe I need to play more? Only then I'll be in rhythm. Because he can't go back on that old formula. I don't believe in preparation. I think he said it in the heat of the moment at that point. So it's going to be a very, very interesting situation with Virat as to what you have to look at it. But then, as I mentioned, even now, even if he fails for 15-20 games, you are seeing him come out to bat in the opening game of the 2027 World Cup in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia.
Yeah.
There is no way you're leaving out Virat and Rohit. They will finish the story. And after 2027, the full stop can be added.
He's also, it's not refreshed over there.
Yeah, please refresh it.
Yeah, he also just says that, when I bat really, which he says in this whole series he knows he can hit sixes. There's always levels you can unlock. And the first one at Ranchi, he's talking about the Ranchi ODI. Because I hadn't played a game since Australia, just how your energy is on the day Ranchi is very special for me. And I'm very grateful as to how these 3 games have gone. It's always brought the best of us. That's what we want to play for. When it's 1-1, you want to do something special for the team. That's why we have played for this team for such a long time. Just happy that both of us continue to do it for so long.
Well,
Even Rohit.
I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Ranchi was special because prior to the game, who did he meet?
MSD.
MSD.
All of them.
All of them. And you look at it, the team bonding session, the team's dinner session that you had in Ranchi, I think it gave them far more purpose and clarity. Let's make no mistake about it. Certain small things, when you look at it, maybe if they do well in 2027 and India do well in the 2027 World Cup, maybe the day when they stepped out before that match in Ranchi, where they met MSD, spoke with him, had some things to talk about, it'll never come out in the public domain, but it definitely played a role in them being in that space.
Yeah.
So that's why now there are no more doubts. There are no more doubts on Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. So even Yashasvi today, that's why every box that an Indian cricket fan wanted got ticked. So that's why it is Super Saturday in more ways than one. But if you have to look at the batting effort, I think we have to first compliment our 2 bowlers who really got us back in the game, Kuldeep Yadav and Prasidh Krishna. We said that in the post-match we'll do a dedicated thing on Prasidh and Kuldeep. But Prasidh, I mean, look at it. He faces extremes. He gets tonked for runs by Harry Brook and Jamie Smith in Edgbaston, gets panned across the spectrum, says that, what is this bowler doing in the Indian cricket setup? But then he and Siraj help you win Oval. Then here he has an absolute horrible time in Raipur and gets hit for 27 runs in 2 overs. But then gets hit for 4 wickets, 66 runs. The next 7 overs results in only 39 runs. So, what a redemption for Prasidh in more ways than one.
See, every bowler has an attribute. With him, you've come to realize in his short ODI career, and in fact, I would say his rather young test career as well, that the man has the knack of picking wickets. He can, at some point. I think you would often say I floated a name and you guys didn't like it much. Let me throw another one. Even a Shardul Thakur will pick you wickets. Though with Prasidh, you've seen greater number of wickets than Shardul, but the one commonality remains that he leaks runs, and I think that has been the takeaway for me, and this is what I've learned about Prasidh Krishna. Yes, he's a wicket-taking bowler. At some point, he will strike. He's also a confidence bowler, I've learned. He was quick to have he was quick to have the tail between his legs after he was tonked for 27 runs. You saw KL had to go have a chat with him. Rohit also briefly had a word with him. So he's a confidence bowler as well. But if given the confidence, he is trying to apply himself. Of course, he needs to have greater control. He was spraying it across got hit for those 18 odd runs in that one over as well. And you did realize that if South Africa managed to find some sort of momentum closer to the 12 over mark, it was just when that change had happened and Prasidh Krishna was given the ball. Harshit too, as a result, who bowled the subsequent over, was strong, and that just opened the gates for South Africa to get into the game, because otherwise they were just not out there. They just hadn't turned up. The Indians had applied the pressure so very well. So Prasidh, one thing I think what happens with these 4 wickets is he definitely gets a further look in from the selectors. That's what these wickets have done. I wonder if these wickets hadn't come, what the outcome may have been, or it may have been different. But I think these wickets have helped his cause, and it does give him some sort of time. The good thing is you're going tournament to tournament. The next tournament you're looking at is the T20 World Cup. So you won't be too fussed of what things went wrong in this particular series. But when the time comes, perhaps you will address this particular aspect as well. And this is one area you would want Prasidh to improve. Keep that wicket taking knack, but develop greater precision, greater control, so that you're not that bowler that teams end up targeting, as was the case today.
See, I mean, the thing with him has always been that I think over the past couple of seasons, he's developed this ability to get wickets. He's always been good in terms of attacking, but previously the success wouldn't come as frequently. More importantly, it was a case of him being very inconsistent. At times, I do still feel like he is a little bit on the inconsistent side, but he still is able to get wickets. And I think that's an important aspect, because again, if you're a bowler, the best currency that you can have to show is your wickets. How many wickets do you get? He is a wicket taker. The good thing in that sense is that he still remains a little bit of a work in progress, because obviously I think with a little bit more control, he'll not be leaking as many runs. That being said, that control can come about in multiple ways. It could come about if he's playing more, but I don't think he'll be playing that much more, because again, you've got maybe an ODI series against New Zealand, and he's not really in the T20 scheme of things. So I doubt he comes in there. So what you could then see is that maybe he gets the chance to smoothen the skills out in the IPL, because thereafter also, even in ODIs, he might not play a lot of games, because now on this focus is then going to be on ODI World Cup, you will see the top guys be playing a lot of games. So Bumrah will come back, and at this point, I think it's fair to say he's deputizing for Bumrah. But at least he's done okay in the opportunities he's gotten in terms of, he's gotten wickets. Still a work in progress. Use time away from the field to kind of, iron out those chinks. And there's a good backup bowler there to be had. So of that, there's no doubt. He did the best he could. Obviously, it was a bit expensive today as well, but those 4 wickets will come in handy. It'll tell the team. I mean, we've seen a lot of bowlers like him. For a few years prior, even someone like a Lungi and Gidi, who was on the opposing side, fell in the exact same boat. He was very expensive, wickets. But he got you wickets. Yeah. That was very important.
I mean, to all the memers and everybody out there, they have unfortunately kept one particular so-called handle is there, a cricket academy that is even unfairly named. I mean, I don't know why that person hasn't taken legal action against them, because, I mean, see, you're not giving that particular bowler his due respect. You are actually degrading a guy who did well in Ranji Trophy.
Who did well in domestic cricket, who actually had to break through barriers to get to even where he was.
I think you end up taking certain things just in jest. We talk about, highest praise, I think, for the god of cricket. I don't have to take his name. But there is a very popular handle named after him as well.
Of course. But then see, that doesn't flat out
demean him.
Yeah, it doesn't demean him, but then that demeans him. It shows that, he's only expensive and doesn't take wickets. They are thinking of changing the name. I'm only saying that I know that you have knee-jerk reactions every single point in time. Yes, there is a corpus that Prasidh has had it, but Prasidh also bounced back at the Oval. Prasidh bounced back even here also. So you will have extremes in the case of Prasidh's bowling. Give him time. Give him the situation that, every day a Siraj, then you will say that Siraj also should be dropped on the basis of 1 or 2 poor games. Shami, I know he's not been picked, but clearly I think there is something more than that meets to the eye when it comes to Shami's exclusion. There is something else which the BCCI are not happy with. Might be the comments that he made.
Most likely his comments.
His comments that are there, the miscommunication, who started it, we don't know. So that is where I think give the bowlers time. This wasn't your full strength bowling lineup. You don't want to play this bowling lineup in the ODI series at all.
There'll be no Harshit because a Pandya will come back post the T20 World Cup. There'll be no Prasidh because a Bumrah will come back. Arshdeep and Kuldeep. So these two of the four pure bowlers you had, Jadeja, of course, potentially could be there as well. And then who your 6 bowlers, that's for you to figure out.
Yeah.
I would still say if you really want another pacer,
Get in the Siraj.
Oh no, I say a pace bowling all rounder.
Shivam Dube.
Maybe a Dube. You might have to go that route because with Nitish, there are just more and more signs that he's not able to shoulder the load of being a proper all rounder. Dube has worked on his bowling and in the middle overs can at least give you a bit of a fall gap that he'll give you 5 overs here or there. With Nitish, I'm having those doubts. Maybe give him more time and tell him to work on his
injury.
Domestic cricket.
Yeah.
Domestic cricket is the key with him because in the IPL he ain't going to be getting too much bowling. Not with the impact player rule. Needs to work on it in domestic cricket. Get into the habit. I'm not saying he has to take truckloads of wickets, but get into the habit that if you're playing List A, make it a point to bowl 6, 7, 8 overs per game. If you're playing T20s, make it a point to bowl your full 4 quotas. A lot of people are doing it. Ramandeep Singh barely bowls a ball for KKR in the IPL, but during the S-Mat, he's been bowling 2, 3, 4 overs more often than not. So get that. You have to stay in rhythm. Right now, I think his problem is that he's severely out of rhythm when it comes to his bowling. Nitish, maybe work on that. He could be a long-term prospect. He's not very old.
I think besides his rhythm, you need a few more tricks.
Yeah.
At the moment, I find there aren't enough quiver, there aren't enough arrows in his quiver at the moment. He needs more ammunition. Speed definitely is one of them. I think he's leaving a huge margin over there for him to be a worthy bowler. I do believe in him. I still believe in the fact that he is a very good batter. He has the technique. With bowling though, I think there is a little more that I need right now, because forget that MCG 100. I think before that as well, he showed that he has the skill out there to be reading spin, to be able to slug it out, to be able to spend time in the middle. He got you a couple of 40s and they came after having played about 80-100 deliveries, and this was a time where the other batters were struggling. So work in progress.
Yep, but if Rohit and Virat, all the hula balloos there, Kuldeep, you pick him, he does well, he provides you match winning spells, but yet you don't play him consistently. I mean, that's life of Kuldeep Yadav in a nutshell. But then see, he's gotten a good run. Yes, he struggled a bit in the South Africa tests, but in the ODIs, he's been your X factor today. Those 4 wickets by him in the middle overs ensured that South Africa just had no way out. And as I said, the pitch had nothing to do. There was nothing in this road. South Africa are themselves to blame for having an under par total which was 70-80 runs less. So I'm sorry, this is South Africa's own doing. The pitch had nothing in it, and that's why India today are fittingly 2-1 series winners.
And that brings me to another point. It's interesting because we can segue to that. A word on why does South Africa look so ordinary today? I think there were 2 things they really messed up. One was not adjusting their approach. Despite losing a few wickets, they kept going that no, we're going to have to be aggressive and we have to target getting 360. I think if once you'd lost a few wickets, you should have recalibrated and said, no, let's try and get to 320, 330. We can still make a game out of it. 270, you are out of the reckoning. Second was that weird experiment with Makram. I still can't wrap my head around it. What was the need to demote arguably your best batter during this series so far away from a role where he was performing well? Why? Because you wanted to try and experiment with, and I understand that now you have, ODI series, you will use it for experimentation, but I mean, Rickleton hadn't been doing any great shakes as an opener. You wanted to try and get De Kock some more, this thing. Okay, fine, that's okay. But then why not open with De Kock and Makram then? That was probably your best batting lineup, basis form. Rickleton has been purely terrible throughout the series. Sorry to say.
I think South Africa really did an India over here. India ended up doing far more in Test cricket though.
Yeah.
But the fact that at times, and we've seen, especially in ODIs as well, we've seen that you've become that side where you want to experiment a bit. Though to us on the outside, they look as experiments. The Indian team management always has some sort of logic to it, but at best those are experiments as well. So I think South Africa ended up taking a leaf out of India's book and tried out this experiment, which I hope for their own good they don't do again and again, because why would you remove somebody who just scored a century for you? Look at what India did with KL Rahul and see how that series played out in Australia. So that's what I'm saying, they took a leaf out of India's book and they did themselves more harm than good. For their own good, I hope They stick to centurions and players who perform in specific roles and not become over ambitious.
I mean, if I have to look at South African last ODIs, I was just checking it out. When they played the third ODI against Australia, it was a dead rubber for them. But they lost by 276 runs. Here they have lost by 9 wickets. I think that last ODI, I think there's a major problem for them. They have got some kind of a thing. Either they are not able to maintain the momentum, either they are not able to do anything about it. Because see, there is a reason why South Africa have won only one ODI series in India. That was way back in 2015. Apart from that, they have lost by 2-1 margins. They have lost by certain 3-2 margins in that sense. There is a reason for that. 2-2 in 2006, if I may remember, when Gambhir helped them in Mumbai. So that is why I am just saying that South Africa have a problem in the momentum. And today, as Shane pointed out, they clearly just jumbled up their batting. Markram at number 5. Markram, Quinton de Kock could have been better. De Kock scored a century, 7th century against India. What stopped them from continuing with that? What stopped them? So I really don't know at this point in time what's going on. So yeah, South Africa are to blame for their own mishap today. They have continued this trend where they will not win the series in India. The wait continues for another 4 to 5 years. So yeah, that is the way we are looking at this current situation right now. So yeah, let's take a few comments. Dikshita V is saying 65 not out at 145 strike rate, wicket, touchwood, next level domination, brutal. Virat now 42 runs behind, second highest runs in history of cricket. All formats, no filter. Yeah. I mean, he just is 42 away from becoming the second. I think it's Kumar Sangakkara, I think, who's the second highest across all formats. Next is, we all know, a Sachin, Ramesh Tendulkar, or is it a Ricky Ponting? That I have to check. So yeah, that is the win. Chirag is saying Sid saw 2 test series where bowlers' contribution with batting is more important. Especially in overseas tests, India lost the test majority for same reasons. Okay, so 2 test series where bowlers' contribution with batting is important, especially in overseas tests. India lost the test majority for same reasons.
No,
he believes bowlers should contribute more with the bat.
Yeah, you can do that. I always said this, that India's problem hasn't always just been a lack of pure all-rounders. It's sometimes that your pure bowlers can't bat. So that's also a bit of an issue. If you look at, say, in Australia, we know that they've got a Stark Cummins when fully fit who can actually contribute with the bat. They're not just going to be there to hang around. And even then, their other tailenders will be someone like Hazelwood and
Boland.
Oh no, not Boland. I'm saying Hazelwood. Hazelwood will sit out if Boland. Boland will sit out if Hazelwood is there. So if you look at those 4, of those 8 and 9 are Cummins and Stark. Number 10 and 11 is Hazelwood and
Lyon,
who both of them can hang around. They'll at least be dogged and defend well, look to take a few singles. That's what they can do. You don't have bowlers who can do that. That's also a big problem. Unfortunately, yeah, now Kuldeep has worked on his batting long enough that you can trust him to do that. But is anyone else there of the same board? No.
Not Siraj, not Bumrah, no.
No. That's the thing.
I mean, talking about Stark, today he made 77 at number 9.
Exactly. So, Stark, we know, is a more than able contributor with the bat.
Yeah, he is. He's a terrific batter. But unfortunate to not hit a century. 99 he got out in Mohali. So yeah. Ashish there is saying, GG after Raipur today, koi bowling kar sakta hai kya?
That's basically, I'd say, the main reason why, even they brought in a Tilak.
Yeah.
He gave you 3 overs of off spin, although that didn't work out well at all.
Yeah, it didn't. But then let's credit Gautam Gambhir, yaar. Poor guy. Gets all the flag when you lose. He should get some appreciation when you win.
Should we? This was again a comment that was made after the conclusion of the Australia series.
Why don't you give him? Okay.
Should we? I just need a question from answer from
yes,
you guys.
we should.
No, you don't know what he's asking. I know what he's about to ask.
I pretty much have a feeling that Shane knows what I'm about.
Yeah.
Should we be, Siddharth and Shane, celebrating the series win?
Yes.
Yes, series win.
Going by what the head coach has said, you should not only be celebrating the series win, but now you have full right to also celebrate the individual milestones.
Yeah. See, again, what Gambhir said in the aftermath of Sydney was not wrong.
It's just the way he said it and the way...
It was bluntly put, too honestly put, and just bitten him back.
But again, I still also say that I don't think series wins or losses count for much. I will never forget the peak of India's drought of ICC titles, okay? we were bilateral giants.
Giants, yeah.
There was not a team in the world that could touch us. Home, away, sometimes you'd falter, but even there you always really gave a good fight. Come ICC tournaments, you just looked hopeless.
Yes.
So my problem always was that I used to say back then that I'm okay foregoing a few bilateral results if it means we win ICC titles. I stand by that even now.
Yeah.
Even if we had to lose this series, it would have made no difference to me.
Again, we should also praise Gautam Gambhir for the series win also. If you want to criticize him for a series loss, then that's unfair. Praise him when he's won a series.
And yeah, I'll give him the full credit here that no, whatever squad he went with, whatever lineups he went with as a coach or whatever contributions he had, fully deserved what it is that happened, because quite frankly, yeah, you won the series. At the end of the day, you can't be questioning it now.
Yeah.
Sure, I will still have question marks over him as a test coach,
Yeah.
but that's a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with Gigi, the white ball coach, whether it be in ODIs, whether it be in T20s, zero issues. And he continues to prove that faith, or prove that faith from me isn't misguided,
Yeah.
or it's not misplaced.
So you can celebrate a series win. You celebrated individual milestones, but you forgot that you lost the series. Gambhir was spot on there. Simple.
Sridhar Savarkar says, 2 ducks and time to retire. And he hits back with 200s and 250s. That's why he's one of the greatnesses. That's why we love him. Touch wood.
Do touch wood. Add a 74 to that as well.
Yeah.
Meaningful 74 runs.
No, but he means those
250s and
no, he's included.
200s, 4 matches, no?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, he's included that.
He's
yeah.
included that, yeah.
Chirag
Chirag is saying, yeah.
Chirag GPAT.
GPAT.
Says our bowlers only.
We're sorry, we can't read the whole name.
Yeah, we can't read the whole thing. We're not making fun, I promise you.
Yeah.
It's just that YouTube's done this weird thing where they show the ads,
Yeah.
and we can't seem to figure it out. He says our bowlers only know how to play dead defense and are not unable to score runs. See other countries' bowlers contribute with the bat in all 3 formats. I mean, not all countries, but yeah, I think top nations, they do have bowlers who can at least contribute with the bat.
Yeah.
Sena nations for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, a Bolt and a Saudi could clear the ropes quite effortlessly, and I think Trent Bolt was the greatest number 11 ever.
And look at South Africa also. Kagiso Rabada, when fully fit, is an able batter. He can hang around there, hit big shots.
Look at Marco Jansen.
Jansen is an all-rounder.
Yeah. But from where he started to the
What
kind
he
of
is now.
kind
See,
of
an O'Neill, Bartman, and Lungisani Ngidi aren't going to
Pat
set the stage on
Cummins.
fire.
Look at Pat Cummins for that matter.
Cummins is also, I consider him as close to being an all-rounder, bowling all-rounder.
Archer, can send the ball a long way.
Archer.
In fact, most English bowlers
Yeah.
have the ability to bat.
Atkinson, Cars,
And
Archer.
Atkinson's got 100 lords there.
I
Come
know.
on.
Yeah.
And even a Cars is a bowling all-rounder. Of course, his batting can be a little sus at times, but we know he's got the ability.
He can hit a 30-40 quick time.
Exactly, that's the thing. At times, I do feel like our biggest issue is that our bowlers don't learn how to bat or pick
Yeah.
up the skill over time. I mean, someone like, and again, you go back in time, someone like a Jason Gillespie was a perfect example of learning it over time and applying that.
Yeah.
He was a decent night watchman to start with, but he became much more technically sound, able with his defense, trusting that he could get runs. And then what happened? He got 100. And that
201.
Yeah, that 201 was his first century, by the way. He's confirmed it also on X. It was his first century in any form of cricket.
Correct.
Whether you're talking age group, whether you're talking domestic, international, whatever, it was the first ever century he had hit. It just shows you, if you really apply yourself,
Yeah.
gains are there to be made.
Yeah. This Naveen Narayan, this finish, what happened? Yeah. This finish is a perfect cinematic revenge of Test and grovel for the coach of SA. Virat in absolute beast mode and Rohit back to disturb. What more they can do? Thanks, Gigi, for your attitude that woke them up.
I don't
Either he's been.
This is no revenge in my opinion. Siddharth, for you, is this
No
revenge enough?
way.
Not a chance.
This is not revenge enough for me.
I mean, I understand the memers and all the other guys who would want to ensure that, okay, oh, so Arshdeep is.
Yeah, this Virat has a few things to say. Let's play that up.
Wait, yeah. Oh,
What
we
is
won the
it?
toss.
Huh?
He's saying century तो पक्की थी आज. He's saying toss जीत गए तो तेरी भी पक्की थी. 100 runs.
Exactly, yeah, good.
That's good from Virat.
Yeah.
It's a good comeback.
But again, it's not a grovel, yeah. It's not a grovel that you have to look at it at this point in time.
Sridhar Savarkar with a very interesting comment which takes us back to a discussion we were having.
Yeah.
This series was something else from Virat. The domination took me back to 2018 Windies series. Remember? We were
3-0.
Talking about it.
Yes. And in every game this series, it looked almost inevitable that he'll score big once he got to 15-20 runs. Insane. And we were talking about that particular
Because
series
that's
we were
also
looking
the
at
last time that Virat Kohli had 3 centuries.
3 centuries. The
on
only time.
trot. Yeah, not this time though. Unfortunately,
Yeah, he did,
there
he
weren't
did.
enough runs on the board.
Yeah. So Chirag is like saying, Sid, don't create a false narrative. Have you forgotten what happened with Shikhar at last phase playing one format? That time Ajit was selected, Gill took forward, they should score continuously. Chirag, I have not created a false narrative here. Shikhar Dhawan's case was totally different. You can't compare Virat and Rohit with Shikhar Dhawan. You can't. I'm sorry. The amount of pedigree experience that they have is far greater than that with Shikhar Dhawan. I'm sorry.
And also with Shikhar, there was a noticeable decline. A very noticeable decline. That was true even in his IPL. That was true even in his international form. There was a very noticeable decline. Shikhar, by the way...
Strike rate issues.
Yeah, Shikhar, I remember in his early days, was able to switch gears. He could be aggressive when needed. He could be conservative when needed.
Yeah.
The problem with Shikhar towards the end of his career, Gabbar, was that he lost that ability to be aggressive.
Yeah.
It was just conservative, and that was something I remember that cost even his IPL franchises when
Punjab Kings, yeah.
Punjab Kings and all. He just wasn't able to find that other gear, and that's no slight. Okay, it happens to a lot of players.
Yeah.
Won't take away from the fact that I still consider him one of India's best ICC performers. But
How can one forget 2015?
yeah, and even 2013, he played a key part, if I remember correctly, in the 2013 Champions Trophy as
Of
well.
course.
So
He was Mr. ICC for a reason.
Look who's
exactly.
turned up for the press conference.
very interesting.
Ah.
But see, all of that kept aside, I think it's also fair to say that Virat and Rohit haven't shown anything close to that kind of a decline. If anything, they're showing that they're very much operating in the peak of their powers.
Yep. Your people are comparing him to 2018, 2019 peak Virat and peak Rohit there. Come on. Dhawan, compare him with 2017 and 2022, 2023. It is not the same anymore. Simple.
King 007 Dropper, again, I still maintain one of the best ads that we have, says the petition to make KL full-time ODI captain. Virat is a beast under him.
Yeah.
Pardon my French, folks, but this whole series was about, bleep this, I am Virat Kohli. King 007 Dropper, I will disagree with that. I know that Virat, is a great player when it comes to playing under KL, but I don't think I'd make that change.
Yeah, I think out of the 6 ODIs that he's played under him, I think he's got 3 50s and 2 hundreds. One is a less than 50 score. So yeah, I mean, he does bat well under KL Rahul. So that is the way. But then no, you are having Gill back as the captain. If worst case scenario, if Gill doesn't do well 1 year into the World Cup, when you have to see, drop the ego, go back to Rohit Sharma. Go back to Rohit Sharma as it happens.
Whether or
So
not he would want to is a different matter, but
yeah.
Now though it'll take some convincing.
Pawan Holla, panelists, we have Root, Kohli, Williamson, Smith as Fab 4 batters. Who, according to you, are the Fab 4 bowlers in this era? Oh, that's a good one. For me, it is Bumrah, Stark, Hazelwood, Rabada.
good shout. But Rabada is a debatable one. You could sneak in a Saudi.
Or a Hazelwood.
No, Hazelwood's already there, Baba.
Oh yeah, Hazelwood.
I would
Yeah.
put in a Cummins.
Cummins is another shout.
Complete fast bowler, yeah, Pat Cummins. He will run in, do the hard yards for me more than the spell of Hazelwood and Stark in 2023 final. I thought his spell was the most definitive spell of all. So I would say that this was the thing. But it's a different debate here altogether. Let's see how that pans out. It's a different debate. We'll have
This
it.
is the 4th contender. Even I'm sort of thinking.
I mean, there's a lot of contenders for the 4th one.
But Archer again too injury prone. Otherwise he.
No, not Archer at all. See, it has to be the Aussies. One of them I would remove Rabada and get in a Cummins.
Cummins maybe definitely.
Cummins. Yeah. None of the England bowlers, I'm sorry. They don't even deserve to make it, not even in the Fab 4, Fab 40, they don't deserve to make it at this point in time. Yeah. Siddharth.
Archer could have been that person, but his injuries
Too
robbed
injury
him of
prone, yeah.
too many years of his career. Too many years.
New Zealanders all have retired, and the new ones, okay, no, they don't inspire me that much of confidence either. Siddharth is saying, all in for playing positive in tests, but why next generation flag bearers in Crawley, Brook, Green don't work on technique, no footwork, exposing stumps, no weight transfer? These things look ridiculous. I agree, my friend. If it comes off, it is spectacular. If it doesn't, it looks ridiculous, as you say. Siddharth, absolutely spot on in that sense. And Sachin Kashyap, for our two football nuts here, Harshit and Shane, one question now the World Cup draws come out. Which one is a group of death? For me, France, Norway, Senegal and Haaland versus Mbappe.
I agree. That looks like the group of death so far. Because again, that other team who will qualify there, and I remember this because I did the video, is also a Euro team. So
Is it the one that we were talking about, Shane? Is Poland part of this group? Or the other one?
Poland or not? Yeah, it could be Poland who make it.
I was just again. I don't. Firstly, Sachin, to begin with, I don't think there's a group of death.
This one is.
It's again.
For me, it's group L.
France, Norway, Poland, and Senegal. By the way, have a history. Again, I always go back to 2002. France were defending champions, drawn in the same group with Senegal. Senegal beat France. France are unable to make it to the knockouts.
But again, Shane, that's the kind of match that you saw even in the previous World Cup where Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Those are one-offs.
Of course, those are one-offs.
There isn't one that screams group of death to me right now. However, I think I don't remember which one it is. I think if Poland are the team to get qualified from the last round of qualifiers, then I think that group could become the group of death.
I think this is the same group only.
Is
it the same one? I could be wrong.
Definitely.
For me, it's Group L. For me, it's Group L.
The England-Croatia group.
England, Croatia are there. Then there is also one more team. I think
you can check those slides also because we have them. But
I think Group L for me is the toughest.
I think H is the closest. But otherwise, see, now what's happened is that the tournament is expanded, so you will not have as many
group of death.
Yeah, there won't be that whole philosophy of a group of death for very simple reasons because. We're getting a hold of.
We can totally have a glance.
Yeah, we can totally have a glance at them. Not this one. Go to Group H first. And cut it full screen also if need be. No, not H. L.
L.
Yeah.
L.
This one. Ghana, Panama kind of brings the quality down.
Yeah, but Ghana, Croatia, England.
Yeah, that's a good group. But I still say that the previous one which we were talking about is the strongest group. Yeah, I think it was I. Just go to I. Group I. Couple of groups back. Yeah, I think this is the one which will be the toughest.
So it's the intercontinental playoff.
There won't be Poland, but intercontinental also whoever comes
It could be Bolivia, it could be Iraq.
I'm not sure. I'll have to check who's playing that match because I don't want to say it wrong again. I've already got it once. But this I think is the toughest group, regardless of who makes it.
So yep. So that is the way. So
let's take a couple more
before we because I think Gambhir will say a bit.
He's already started firing shots.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
Lovely.
He says, just one since it's there on the phone now, Gambhir says that people in the media forget that we lost the first test by just 30 runs when the best test batsman of the team and captain was unable to bat. A lot of people have been saying a lot of things, some going out of their domain, like one IPL owner who suggested split coaching.
Who suggested this?
I think it was the Delhi owner only. It was Parth Jindal, I think.
Oh my goodness.
I think it was Parth. Somewhere I remember reading this.
Pot shots fired. Really? Because look, I've seen the degeneration that happens. Many people want India to lose primarily to get Gambhir out. And that hurts your myopic sentiments. Parth Jindal had said it. Yeah.
India need because yes, this is what he said. India need a specialist red ball coach.
Oh, that is the problem. I mean, you have to.
And this comment had come, I remember, after the series loss.
Yeah. So, Amit Kautekar is saying, one format player, are you focusing on only Roko as one format player? They are only, are they only two? In ODI, Shreyas in tests, Jaiswal, Pant, list goes on, T20, Surya, Abhishek, Sanju, list goes on. But then...
They're not retired from all formats, Baba. It's a whole different...
Roko are officially retired from T20s and tests, my friend.
Yeah. When you look at the domestic cricket, all these guys are playing all formats.
Yeah, Shreyas hasn't retired in tests. Jaiswal, Pant haven't retired from T20. Surya, Abhishek, Sanju haven't retired from any format.
They just don't get picked.
They don't get that's picked. A different thing. Pant's there.
Yeah.
He's not getting picked.
He's not getting picked. Pant was there in the 3 games in the squad.
He's an obvious pick, unfortunately, just for one. He's making himself available for all 3.
Correct. So, one more comment and then if Harshit continues to develop, it will help massively. Well, Gambhir is determined to make Harshit an all-rounder.
Very interesting. One more question which you can take. let's see, Sarat Chandra saying, panelists saw some stats of openers and Rohit tops even Sachin and all of the rest. So if we're making a world 11, would you all choose Rohit over Sachin as an opener? Is Rohit the best ODI opener of all time? No.
Rohit is a good ODI opener, but not the best ODI opener of all time.
Yeah, I know those 200s, the 3 200s skew this thing a little bit, but Sachin was a different league in a different planet. Sorry.
For me, it is, if I have to have my opening duo, it will be Sachin and Gilchrist.
I was about to say.
Yes, exactly.
It's sort of for our generation, I think those are the two names that come to your mind.
Yeah.
One, a destructive left-hander who cares nothing, and ultimate clutch player. Tendulkar, the gold standard. What more do I want in a batting here?
Nothing at all.
Gilchrist and Sachin, the dream opening combination.
Same. I will second that.
Yeah. Last comment. Let's just go down. I think we have taken all that.
Do we need to click on the yellow
We have
button?
clicked that. We have done that. Yeah. Freaking Awesome is saying, okay. 5,000 plus ODI runs for Rohit at home. Yep. Virat needs another 349 runs to become the highest scorer at home in ODIs. Yes, I think he will go past Sachin if I'm not mistaken.
But that'll now happen only in 2026.
2026, yeah. Because I think you've got series against New Zealand at home. I'm talking about you've got against Sri Lanka and you've got against West Indies. ODIs.
So by the way, ladies and gents, we've seen the Indian team play their last ODI for this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No more ODI cricket for
1 month.
about a month.
A month, yeah. 10th
Yes.
January, you'll see, yeah. Then Priyanshu saying, thanks to Agarkar and Gigi Bhai, Rohit is setting fitness goals and Virat is hitting sixes for fun. Just go down. What is it? I'm not a fan. Go down. I'm not a fan of any individual. Just want India to lift World Cup 20 VK, row Gigi, then party at Thala House.
If Gigi is invited to that party, dear God.
Yeah. Lot of, I think, wounds will be eliminated then. Lot of wounds in that
Anyway.
sense. Yeah. So, okay, let's call it a quits. Lot more videos coming your way. Gambhir is addressing the press conference. We'll be bringing
Piece
you.
is still on.
Yeah, it is still on at this point in time. So, yeah, Gambhir never gives short PCs.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Just tap that bell so that you know when we come live to you next. It'll
Correct.
be with straight away the big firebolts that are perhaps.
Virat, what did he say? Gambhir, what has he said? It's going to be make very interesting content, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
So stay tuned. Bye bye. See you soon from me, Shane and Harshit. We'll be back soon.